Nice to meet you, I'm Julia. For this presentation, my group and I have decided to choose the microorganism Lactobacillus in skincare products. Here are the contents for this presentation. I am in charge of the introduction. Samhita will be describing the microorganism. Anhisha and Tamila will both be describing its association with the environment object, while Amina is responsible for the impact of changes. To start off, what are lactobacillus? Lactobacilli are members of the lactic acid bacteria, a phylogenetically diverse group of gram-positive bacteria that have the ability to produce lactic acid as a byproduct. The genus Lactobacillus is the largest of the genera included in lactic acid bacteria, with over 100 species known to date. Not only that, they are generally non-motile and can survive in both anaerobic and aerobic environments. Lactobacillus is widely utilized in the food and feed industry and is recognized as safe organisms. They have also been demonstrated to modulate skin symptoms. Moving on, why? Why did we choose Lactobacillus and why did we choose skincare products? Well, for Lactobacillus, it acts as a very effective exfoliating and moisturizing agent, as different concentrations of lactic acid produce different cosmetic results for the epidermis and dermis layers. Studies on Lactobacillus strands such as L-plantarum Chi M and L6 showed that it enhanced collagen synthesis, reduced the melanin synthesis, the proliferation of Cutibacterium acnes and such. All Lactobacillus strands, including L. rhamnosus, exhibited excellent antioxidant parameters. These antioxidants help protect the skin's surface from oxidative damage caused by free radicals and environmental aggressors like UV and pollution. Next, why skincare? Why did we choose skincare? Well, most of us at some time in our life will experience skin problems of some magnitude, whether it be dry skin or influenced by environmental conditions. If these are not treated, this may lead to further complications such as pressure ulcers and skin tears. The development of skincare products is to protect and maintain the structure and function of the skin from insults. Factors such as stress, dermatitis, medication, and chemicals may also affect the skin barrier function, thus reducing its ability to maintain integrity. It might flatten out the projections in the epidermis and dermis, making them fragile and more susceptible to shearing forces.
Hello everyone, my name is Samhita and I'm going to describe about the chosen bacteria, which is Lactobacillus. So looking into the taxonomy of the Lactobacilli, the domain would be bacteria, the phylum would be Firmicute. So Firmicute here means bacteria that usually are gram-positive, and the class would be Bacilli, the order would be Lactobacillus, and the family would be Lactobacillacea, and the genus would be Lactobacillus. Now looking into the characteristics of Lactobacilli, it is gram-positive, it is rod in shape, it is non-spore forming, which simply means it does not produce any spore. It is non-pathogenic bacteria, which means it does not bring any harm to the host, instead it brings benefit to them. It is acid tolerant and its size could vary between 0.6 to 0.9 micrometers long, and it is non-flagellated, which means it does not have the tail at the back, and due to that it is non-motile. And Lactobacilli could live in both aerobic and anaerobic. The optimum temperature and pH for Lactobacilli to grow would be within 30 to 40 degrees Celsius and between 5.5 to 6.2 pH. And Lactobacilli genus are quite wide, so due to the diversification, certain bacteria also could grow in temperature ranging between 2 to 53 degrees Celsius and pH between 4.5 to 6.5. And some strain could even grow at a lower pH level. Lactobacillus are commensal inhabitants, therefore it could be found in human and animal gastrointestinal tract, human mouth and human vagina. Other than that, it could also be found in natural food such as fermented food, and the examples could be sauerkraut, miso and tempeh. And apart from that, in industries, probiotics such as lactobacilli are added into food such as yogurt, cheese, fermented vegetables and also wine. And apart from that, the natural process of souring of the milk, when you put a milk on a table and it sours, it gets spoiled, it does that due to the activity of Lactobacillus. And other than that, Lactobacillus is also added into animal feed such as silage and manure. Finally, looking into the role of Lactobacillus on Earth, it has two main benefits. First of all, it affects us. It acts as a probiotic and it protects the host against pathogen invasion by lowering the pH level of the environment. Therefore, it won't be convenient for other pathogen to grow in that region. Other than that, it improves intestinal barrier function and also provides metabolic and immunologic health promoting properties. So moving on to the second factor, for the soil. In agriculture point of view, it promotes decomposition of organic matter and suppresses disease and perform growth regulatory effects on fungi, yeast and other bacteria. So that is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. I'm Anisha and I am going to talk about the roles of Lactobacillus in skincare and the mechanism that takes place. Lactobacilli have received tremendous attention due to their health promoting properties, including our skin health. Let's take yogurt as an example. It is one of the famous natural remedies that can be applied to the skin to improve skin health, such as moisturizing and healing dry skin and treating pimple and acne. No one has ever spoken about the lactobacillus, which is responsible for the production of the yogurt, which can be a reason for healthy and glowy skin. Many cosmetic companies like Clinique are using lactobacillus as one of their main ingredients in their products because it improves the microbiome of the skin, where it reduces the loss of skin moisture and increase other bacterial growths that have positive and protective effects on the skin. It also provides nutrients, strengthens the skin's natural defense, and increases the lactic acid production as it maintains the skin pH. Moving on to the next slide, which explains the mechanism that takes place. A brief info about the pathogens that are involved in the mechanism that I'm about to share are Cutibacterium acnes and Staphylococcus aureus, because it is found in abundance in our skin microbiota. So the main mechanism that takes place is the strain-specific mechanism, where specific bacteria are strained and selected for tailored application on our skin. Why strain specific? I will explain further on that on my next slide. I am going to focus on the anti-adhesion mechanism, where a specific strain of bacteria is selected, which is the Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG. Before I go any deeper into the mechanism, let me briefly talk about the keratinocytes. Keratinocytes are highly specialized and they play an important role in protection, as they form a tight barrier that prevents foreign substances from entering the body while minimizing the loss of moisture, heat, and other constituents. Now about the mechanism. Live bacteria or lysates of Lactobacillus rhamnosus will compete with a pathogen. In this case, it is the Staphylococcus aureus to inhibit their growth, as it competitively excludes and displaces the pathogen from the keratinocytes by the help of apellis protein SPA-CBA. They also enhance the epithelial barrier function through increasing the expression of tight junction proteins in human keratinocytes with the help of proteins which are the claudin 1 and occludin, stimulated by the Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Lactobacillus has also become a source for the secretions of antimicrobial metabolites to inhibit pathogen growth. Exopolysaccharides and the major peptidoglycan hydrolase MSP1 are the key molecules of Lactobacillus rhamnosus that inhibited fungal hyphae formation and adhesion to the host epithelial cell. More specifically, the MSP1 enzyme can function as a chitinase capable of breaking down the chitin, which is vital for the fungal hyphae formation. Other than that, Lactobacillus also produces bacteriocins active against pathogens like Cutibacterium acnes. Lastly, why strain specific? Because a closely related strain, L. rhamnosus GR1, was not able to prevent the adhesion of the pathogen to keratinocytes because the anti-pathogenic action of lactobacilli is strain-specific. In simple terms, different lactic acid bacteria strains have their own functions in promoting health benefits. In this case, I have chosen L. rhamnosus. You can roughly see the process from the picture above, and now I'll pass it over to the next person. Thank you.
Hello, it's Tam, and I'll be diving into how exactly the outcome would be for the interactions of Lactobacillus to the environmental object, which is the skin. The mechanism explained earlier is a wonderful technique that could be utilized in skincare industry, as it is a powerful tool due to its anti-inflammatory properties on the skin. The Lactobacillus, producing antimicrobial peptides, allows the treatments of many inflammatory outbreaks on the skin, like eczema and having dry, irritated skin. A lot of these irritations come forth or take long to cure due to pathogenic interactions on the skin. While it is widely believed that antibiotics were helpful, there is new research that shows that probiotics would counterattack the pathogens, and it is more natural and a balanced way. Implementing this into skincare could focus on prevention instead of a cure to many skin irritations from flaring up. Like, for example, one of the most focused on bacteria is Staphylococcus aureus, which can cause inflammation, especially in people with eczema. The removal and reduction of this bacteria by competition, pH control, and adhesion prevention. The skin could be prevented from scabbing and blistering due to inflammation and irritation. As can be seen from the photo, the dominance of a single microbiome like Staphylococcus aureus causes an imbalance which flares people who have eczema to blister. Therefore, probiotic treatment could potentially lower the inflammation and prevent it by bringing skin to a healthier balance. Also, this is an added information, but ingesting probiotics have been known to improve the intestinal barrier, which result in lowered allergic phenomenon and dermatitis severity. I know this as I have tried it myself. What outcome exactly does the mechanism used by lactobacilli produce? According to Colleen de Bellefonds, the lactobacilli's mechanism used while implementing probiotic treatments to the skin fights dry skin, which in turn controls the pH levels on the skin. And as we know, due to the sensitivity of bacteria on the pH level, the pathogens would lower, also from the competition, as well as the adhesion mechanism. Pathogens play an important role in causing acne and dermatitis, so by giving the balance of its microbiome by probiotic treatment, the skin is able to protect itself, and it would become better for humans to prevent rapid aging from dryness and also prevent inflammation, which could cause acne and dermatitis. Further added on, wounds and skin damages due to UV rays could be cured very quickly from the protection of lactobacillus on the skin as well.
I'm Amna, and I will be talking about the impact of changes on humans and the planet. We know that lactobacillus has contributed to the production of several skincare products, and that in turn contributes to the national economies that produce those products. Lactobacillus itself has encouraged skincare companies to generate new items, which increases the supply and demand chain, thus increasing the income of pharmaceutical or skincare companies, which contribute to the economy of their countries. According to Sison, the academic website, there is an escalating demand in skincare products, boosting growth and creating a multi-billion-dollar industry. Next, skincare products containing lactobacillus can aid in allergy therapy. A multitude of allergies can cause skin irritation, which can be soothed by products containing lactobacillus. According to the National Library of Medicine, there are clinically proven tests that ensure preventative and therapeutic probiotic uses of lactobacillus in skincare. The third impact is that it encourages biological research. The applications of lactobacillus in skincare has encouraged pharmaceutical companies to dig deeper in their research, and it has been proven by the Food and Drug Administration of America to increase job security for biological researchers. The increase in research empowers the knowledge of the skincare products and the companies that produce it, thus increasing the health and safety of their consumers. Lastly, an important impact of lactobacillus in skincare is that it aids in the treatment of atopic dermatitis, commonly known as eczema, which is an illness that makes skin itchy and red. The specific rhamnosus GG strand, which is quite famous and commonly used, reduces the tendency of eczema in children who are toddlers up until the age of 7. This is especially important because eczema can often cause physical and emotional distress in patients. Moving on to the impacts on the planet. Since lactobacillus encourages the production of more skincare products on a larger scale, this increases the waste produced. It has been reported by the Plastic Population Coalition that the personal care industry contributes to over 120 billion units of packaging, most of which is not recycled. Next, the disposal of skincare waste can contribute to the abundance of bacteria in landfills, thus creating a toxic environment. Even though lactobacillus is beneficial to humans in small amounts or controlled amounts, according to the National Library of Medicine, once disposed, landfill environments produce microbial diversity, which can contribute to creating a hazardous environment for those who live in that area or work in landfills. Lastly, we have lastly we have the impact of water pollution. Now, large pharmaceutical companies that produce skincare products do not always have the best waste disposal methods, resulting in factory waste being dumped out into local rivers and lakes and creating diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea. Lastly, we have the references that we used for our research. Thank you, and that is all from us.